Welcome to Mitten Music.
Season 4, Raw, Live, and Authentic. Episode 17 with Andrew Vandenberg, owner of AV House. We caught up with him at the Michigan Econ Summit.
So we got Andrew from AV House with us at the Michigan Econ Summit. It's awesome.
Hello.
One of the vendors. So
How the heck are you?
Yeah, how are you doing?
Doing great. Really happy to be here. I mean, it's a great spring day in Michigan. You know,
Yeah, it's nice.
Can't ask for more right now.
Yeah, for sure.
So
Did you have actual spring break this last week or two, or not so much?
no, not so much.
You're an actually working person. You're not hey, let's just take a vacation.
Yeah,
in April.
yeah. My wife was, like a little disappointed that we didn't have anything scheduled, but it's been a great week. We've been super busy with just some like extra contracts coming down the pipeline and stuff
Good.
like that.
Yeah.
So it's been a good week. And so
Good.
Yeah.
So what is AV House?
So
I don't know what AV House is.
Yeah. So AV House, it's my company. It's me and then a group of contractors and such that basically we do integration and like production support for artists, for venues. Really, we're all a bunch of creatives that ended up figuring out that we know the technical side to help communicate.
Mhm.
And so we're just helping other people who have something to say with the technical side, because those two worlds don't always mix,
Right.
So
Trust us.
Yeah, we know.
We'll do a mixture of remote interviews and in-person interviews. Obviously, in person they just show up and we just tell them what to do. But remote, you would do we have 5 people coming in from 5 different devices, or is it just one? What's
Right.
their mic going to sound like? Can they hear us well? Is their internet good? How many people have we had that just have terrible internet? It's like we can't even get through this thing.
yeah,
And I would love to know, what are some of the technical pieces? Like, what are some of the big things that are hurdles that you found between an artist and communication with the technology in between?
you just have two different types of people.
Yeah.
So often you have, over here you have the artists. They typically think more literary. They think more like artistically or in a way. Then you have over here, you have the analytical tech who's thinking in numbers.
Right.
So what they'll be looking at on paper, what a like PA sounds like or something, and they'll be like, oh, well, it matches all the numbers, so it's a good sounding PA. Whereas you have the artists over here listening to it, and they're just like,
It sucks.
it
They
feels wrong.
Yeah, it's not what they're looking for.
It doesn't even sound wrong, but it just feels wrong.
and they don't know how to articulate what is
Yeah,
wrong to make adjustments.
Exactly.
Oh, that makes perfect
So,
sense.
so you got the black and white world that's
Mhm.
like you said, all the
Yeah.
numbers line up. This should be good. And then you have the creative side that's like, no, it's not hit my vibe or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so being able to help those creatives better communicate what they need from the techs, and then helping the techs then be able to communicate to the creatives what they're able to provide, so that they can all work together and find a spot in the middle.
Yeah.
And then also like we also do like we're dealers for virtually everybody at this point.
Okay.
So like we also like just help those creatives get the materials that they can understand in their hands,
Okay.
to be able to then go out and do like their shows or anything like that. Or we help the techs get the stuff that the musicians actually like to use, because we're all, again, creatives,
Yeah.
and we're mostly all musicians and such, to where it's like, oh, we know with this personal monitor for in-ear mixes, like this one is way easier to use for somebody who isn't just math and numbers.
Yeah.
So that's a lot of what we do, is we just kind of bridge those worlds and help people get set up with the right equipment for that.
So to do that, you have to have, I would think yourself has to know bits and pieces of both sides of that to bring it together.
Yeah.
Yeah. So a bit of my history. I was a bass player for like 5 years.
Okay.
I have a bachelor's in music, did the whole musician thing, and then just kind of found myself in almost a toxic space. And so I kind of jumped ship. And at that time I was already building like in-ear monitor rigs for different bands and stuff like that, to where they could just show up to a venue and hand the venue a tail of XLRs and say, hey, plug these in where you need them. And then they have their monitors already mixed and ready to go.
Oh my God.
So
that sounds freaking awesome.
Yeah. So the venue loves it because they have in-ear mixes, low stage volume, besides the vocalist and the drums, like everything. Like we were running like like amp emulators and stuff like that, so that it was just minimal stage noise.
Mhm.
And then then like the artists, they besides a little bit of like pushback from the PA, they knew what they were walking into with their intermix, because it's what they've been practicing with at
Right.
every rehearsal leading up to that point.
Right.
So they just do a slight EQ adjust, which, we can teach people how to do based on how much pushback they're getting from the PA.
Yeah.
And then suddenly, it's like they're practicing in their rehearsal space while they're playing a show. And like that. So I was doing that as an artist. And so I was like, well, I'll just step into more of the technical world and such. And just found out I really had a skill
Sure.
in adapting to all that, and then bridging the two worlds. So yeah, that's
I love it.
that's
cool.
a bit about me. So then I did the integration thing for about 10 years or so, and now I'm doing this business. So
Okay.
yeah.
Sweet.
I like it.
So how long have you
like
actually
it.
been running AV House?
So AV House is about 3 years old.
Okay.
So we started out just purely consulting and doing event support, and now we're doing we found we can better help a lot of our clients doing integration and just being able to provide gear directly and stuff like that. It was just getting to be a hassle where we'd be like trying to get quotes from other people, and we're like, whoa, just hold on. We can just give you a direct line to this equipment.
Yeah,
So
that's
just
great.
like,
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. So would you say you're working with, like, what's your mix of artists versus the venues, or any, is it kind of split 50-50?
Yeah.
or do you
So right now, we've just found ourselves, as we've been leaning into like the Michigan scene and such, that we've been primarily working with venues.
Okay.
Venues have been, they just have more money than
Sure, yeah,
artists.
yeah,
I'm not trying to, shame anybody in that. It's just realistically, the venue has an easier time, being able to say, hey, we want to do this,
Right.
and then move forward with that. So we've been working with, and then also like, just other people, not just exclusively artists, but then like cafes and stuff like that are just looking for a vibe
Sure.
from somebody who, again, isn't just all numbers and math, but understands the numbers and math in order to bridge those worlds. So,
Yeah. Okay.
yeah.
And I'm sure the musician coming in, also, you got a lot of musicians coming through the door in those venues. So if you get into one venue, two venue, three venue,
Yeah.
if they have a good experience and they know why that is, then they can share that with other venues that may not work with you.
Yeah.
think.
Yeah. 100%. No, like almost, I'd say probably 98% of our business is all word of mouth. Like we have a website. It's not, I gotta get somebody to update it.
Sure.
It's a small business website.
Mhm.
But yeah, like we don't do any like paid promotion or anything like that. It's all been word of mouth, just like so-and-so telling, like, John tells Jerry, like, hey man, like, I don't know why I chose old man names.
Old man names.
Yeah. So John tells Jerry, like, hey, I had a great experience working with these guys. They explained it. They were, fair with me. They, you can trust them. And then that's passed on to the next person and on to the next person. And really, I mean, grassroots, marketing is the best thing. We're not looking to make this business, like massive. I worked for a national company in my integration years. I did sales for an for a national company, not international. Sorry. We didn't get that job in Canada. So we weren't international, but, but yeah, no, like, and it's like, it's cool, but like, I don't see the growth of this business going that way. I see us focusing in primarily on Michigan.
Okay.
And then the Midwest, if it works out that way, but just focusing on that. None of us are really money driven. We're art driven, and the money's more of a means to an end to be able to live.
But I feel like the model, what you have, I feel like it easily could grow outside of, like, it could get big, like, as word spreads, there are people in Ohio, Indiana, like, as some artists that really like working with you, or have learned a lot. They're on the east side, the west side, whatever, and they're sharing the information with some band because they're struggling with the same thing. You get calls. I can just see how it could work that way.
Yeah, and if it grows up to that, and if it works that way, great. But for now, like, we're just leaning into Michigan, primarily West and Central Michigan, and we're loving it. We're just loving being able to pour into the scene here and help people better communicate.
That's cool.
Are you here in West Michigan, or where do you kind of work out of?
Actually, so we're based out of Grand Rapids.
Okay.
Awesome.
So
Easy.
then the guys who I bring in to work with me and such, they're around West
Mhm.
West
Sure.
Michigan,
Cool.
you know,
Yeah.
but like, the base of the company's here.
All right,
So
cool. And it seems like now, and I think this is more so after COVID too, but I think a lot of venues are talking to each other more about other things. And, I would think that would help you in that sense. Like otherwise, there was a lot more competitive nature, I think, prior to COVID. And now they had to kind of come together, help each other make it through. So,
yeah, no, absolutely. There's definitely a like grouping of, people just banding together so that we can keep the art alive.
Yeah.
We can keep things going, because it's clear that if we don't have, the support of each other doing this, then we're not going to make it. It's, even as I'm talking to other people who do integration and such like that, like none of us are like, well, there's a few of us who are highly competitive, but
Sure.
for the most part, we're all like sitting here going like, dude, there's enough work to go around. How can we best support each other?
yeah.
And how can we, just work together to best help everybody in the scene right now.
Sure.
So, so it's really cool. It's a great scene right now where it's just like everybody's looking to help each other and work with each other. And I'm so excited to be just able to contribute in some way to that. So,
Sweet.
yeah.
That's cool.
How long do you typically work? Let's say an artist hears about you, they call you up, they schedule like a first meeting with you to talk about the things that you can do. How long do you typically work with that artist? Like, is it a project where it's like over the next 3 months you do all these things and it's done, or is it like an ongoing thing? Or
But I don't believe in just like, selling a project and then leaving.
so it's like
I want
it's organic.
I want a long-term relationship.
Yeah.
I want a community that I'm working with.
Yeah.
Like work is best with friends.
I agree.
And so like I want to be able to continue that relationship and develop that. Like repeat clients, repeat customers. It's not just because you're a customer that I'm getting to come back. It's like I believe in what you're doing.
Yeah.
I
Sure.
want you to be able to do it the best you can. And I'm not just, like I said, it's weird. I'm not like a money driven kind of person,
Mhm.
which is probably to my detriment.
Yeah.
But
Same.
so-
Like time is worth way more than money to me.
yeah. And so I would rather, be leaning into a long-term thing. There's some clients that I have that like, we'll be talking about what they want to do and it'll be sitting like, we'll talk about it and it'll be sitting around 2 years or so.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And they're just like not able to do it or not, it's just not able to,
Pull
come
the
to
trigger
fruition,
on
you know?
something. Yeah.
And then it'll just work out one day that like, oh, it's there. Like, let's revisit this. What's changed? How can we do this now? And it's all about, just like the long game and standing there with people, like waiting till they're ready. Because again, we're in this to make something beautiful. We're in this to better communicate. We're not just here to like turn around and be like, oh, this isn't going to come to fruition for me. This isn't going to be a profit for me right now. So what's the point?
Right.
You just look like
Yeah.
a jerk then.
Yeah.
And nobody wants to work with a
Yeah.
jerk.
For sure.
And assuming, technology, as we know, continually changes. So even once you get in there and you build that relationship, once they are ready and they've started the project, there might be something else another 2 years down the road,
Yeah.
whatever it is,
Yeah, it's moving so fast, especially now with the number of AI like processors that I've seen pop
Mhm.
up in just the last year
Mm-hmm.
is
bonkers.
insane. It's bonkers. And so like definitely, it's like it's helpful to have that guy on the inside, who's
Yeah.
just paying attention to that and seeing what the new thing is.
Yep.
Because, what might have been the best option, like it's like when Behringer released the X32 audio console, now I'm speaking to the nerds here, but like it was a life change or like a era changing console because of the price that they were able to produce that
Mhm.
particular soundboard at. It just changed the industry, and now we're still seeing wakes of that where people are trying to, make sure that they have stuff that's accessible to people who can afford only that, like $3,000 level of soundboard
Sure.
or less that is that intelligent. So,
Yeah.
So thank you, nerds, for listening. Tune back in now.
I understood every single thing you said, so I can appreciate that.
Oh, man.
So
Good stuff.
So, are you still playing as an artist?
Yeah. Actually, I did take a long kind of sabbatical from music where I'd like play here and there. Like I'd pop in for like my friends like Irish folk band or whatever.
Uh-huh.
There's a artist out of Mount Pleasant, Michigan named Matt Moore.
Okay.
He does hard rock stuff. So he
Matt
mostly
Moore.
does acoustic stuff when he's out doing his own shows and whatnot like that. So I play with him probably about like 5-6 times a year.
Okay.
But like I've known him for like 15 years. So like whenever he has a full band show, like he calls me and another couple guys up and he's like, hey, like let's go hit the road. So it's still fun. I still get to go out and like live that. And that's where I get all my cool photos for like social media. And
Yeah,
stuff,
there you go.
where it's like, yeah, I'm still a musician. I'm here. I'm still here. But
Love it.
That's cool.
That's awesome.
yeah.
Can you I don't know if you've said it. Your website name is it AV House? It's not avhouse.com.
Yeah. No, thank you. I did not say that.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's avhouse.us because
perfect.
some company in Germany has
the .com.
and like they don't do anything with it, but
They won't sell.
They won't sell
you
it.
probably couldn't
So-
even get an answer
Yeah,
reply when you tried to buy their domain.
So it's .us, you know.
Cool.
Because it just made sense because we're here in the States. So.
Did you ever think when all the different naming registrar endings like .com, .org, .net, when more like a few years ago, like a bunch were released, right?
Yeah.
Oddball ones, .us, .play, .house, whatever. Like when I see something odd, I'm like, I used to be like, no, why would you buy that and don't like it's not recognizable enough. No one wants to go to it. But now it's the way I remember a lot of websites when it like I will always remember your website because it's the only one that's .us that I've talked to or like I'm going to remember that now.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a blessing in disguise.
Yeah,
From that's the smallest piece of technicality you could get for your website domain.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
those little things.
Well,
man.
it's great, and fortunately with .us, if anyone else is looking for a website,
Ooh.
that's just starting to get passed by a lot of spam filters and stuff like
okay.
that. I used to have to like text people and just be like, hey, I just sent that quote. Since there's a PDF attached and it's a .us,
It might
have gone.
to your junk mail or something.
Yeah, but
It's
they've been passed.
gotten better.
.us has gotten a lot better. So if anybody's
Good to
looking
know.
for a
Yeah.
website,
Good to know.
.us has actually been really good to me in the last year. So
Great.
We should just get the domain, the
We should
mittenmusic.us,
get-
just for
do it.
We
kicks.
should get them
To
all.
let everybody know. Well, I mean, it doesn't say Michigan Mitten Music or Michigan Music, so people don't necessarily know it's the U.S.
That's true.
Unless they listen, we could be Australian.
it's true. Michigan,
don't know.
Australia.
They could.
But if it was .us,
They would know.
they know.
That's right.
Now we
Exactly.
need an affiliate in Australia, so it
We
can
could
be
do
.az. Oh, is it AU? I don't even know.
Maybe it's AZ. I don't know.
No, I bet you it is AU. I bet you it is.
Oh,
Yeah, fair enough.
All right. Down
Yeah,
the rabbit
that's
hole.
the kind of stuff we talk about all the time. Stupid, benign.
get
Nothing.
.ca as well.
Serious?
Yeah.
Has Canada?
Might as well.
Yeah,
You're
exactly.
here.
That's right.
Awesome.
Well, thanks, Andrew.
Yeah.
It was great
yeah,
talking
thank
with
you
you.
guys for the opportunity just to talk a bit about what we're doing.
For sure. That was great. Much appreciated. Have an awesome rest of your day. We hope we get to learn and meet a lot more cool people today.
Yeah, definitely.
Awesome. Thanks,
Cool.
guys.
Yeah.
Thanks.
If you like this episode, check out all of our episodes on your favorite streaming platform,
Or even our website, themittenmusic.com.
or if you want short clips of our episodes, check out our socials.
We got Facebook,
We have Instagram
we got TikTok.
and YouTube.
We're all over the social media game.
Make sure to check out some live Michigan music or listen on your favorite streaming platform.